I love math, math, math. Math can change the world. I love two-factor. I like the box method. Don't miss a Mr. Ing video. I love polynomials.
Hey guys, let's go over 4.47, write a radical function. Step number 1, we need to identify the index. Identify the index. Okay, so we have a generic equation for cube roots. It's going to be g of x or y equals or something like that. X minus h plus k. Okay, so the index to our problem over here is going to be right here. This is our index, and the order pair is -3, -4. So that'll be our h, okay. And there is another point here. I do want to point out, -2, 2 is x, y. Okay, so now if you look at this graph, you know, the domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. And the range is also the same thing. Basically, when both of these are, both is all real numbers. Means you can pick any number, it's okay, you can get output. Then you have an odd index. And just to remind you what an index is, that's just the number up here. That will verify it. Okay? All right, that was step number 1. Step number 2 is now we're going to solve for A. Solve for A. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, so in our problem, we just wrote down h is -3. And what that does is it means it went 3 units left, and our k value is -4. So that just means 4 units down. Okay, so let's just write our function. You can use whatever you want. I'm choosing g here. Always write down your formula. And then we're going to just do some substitutions. Okay, the first substitution I'm going to do is my... okay, let's go over here. We haven't used this one dark blue, a little bit hard to see. Turn on my brightness there. X is -2. And the y value, or g of x, is also -2. Okay, let's put in our h is -3, and then my k is -4. Okay, let's put in everything else. Okay, pay attention, there's a minus sign there. Okay, so we left off over here. Let's just solve for A. This will become -2 plus 3, which would just be 1. And the cube root of 1 is just 1. Pay attention here. So then you have 1a minus 4. Just add 4 to both sides. And you'll get a is 1a, or a is equal to 2. Okay, so that's what we wanted. Okay, step 3 is now to write our equation. And to do that, let's go ahead and just rewrite your formula. Okay, this time I'm going to keep the x's and y's, and I'm just going to substitute the other stuff. So g of x, let's change that to a pen. Okay, my a value now is 2. So that's going to be our stretch, vertical stretch there. And then my x value, my h value is -3, and my k value is -4. And let's just clean that up. So I have g of x, x plus 3 minus 4, and this would be our answer. Okay, so get the parts from the graph, solve for a, and then write your equation. Let's try this next example, number 63. So I have this point here. Looks like I have 1, 2. This is my HK. And now you can pick any point you want where it crosses the graph. Okay, so let's try 0, -1 is my x and my y. Okay, step 1 is done. We've just identified the things that we wanted to. Now let's go ahead. So number 1, ID the index. Just means h, k, x, and y. Okay, second, we're going to solve for a. And again, I know it's a cube root because you have these arrows going in opposite directions. It's odd index. Okay, so let's write down our formula. Okay, let's do our substitution. So index is 1, 2, y is -1, and then your your x value is 0. All right, let's go ahead and solve for a here. Okay, so 3 identical numbers that multiply to be -1 would be -1. So let's subtract 2 and then divide by -1. You're going to get a equals 3. That's our answer. Okay, and then that was orange. Then let's do the pink. Let's write our equation. So just write your formula, generic, cube root. Okay, this is going to stay the same. There's my a value. Okay, my h value is 1. And then my k value is 2. There we go. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, same thing. I'm going to first identify basically our age, k, our index, and then an order pair. Any order pair you want. So there looks like our HK, so 2, 1 is our HK. And then I can use any value I want. You want to use zeros if you can. It's just really nice. 1, 0, x, y. Okay. So let's now do, I was looking for the color orange. Solve for a. So let's write down our formula. Substitute what we have. My y value is 0. We're solving for a. My x value is 1. My h value is 2. And then my k value is 1. So I have -1 plus 1. That would become -1. If you're not sure about that one, you could just put in your calculator. And then 0 equals -1a plus 1. So you subtract 1, divide, you get a equals 1 is your answer. Okay, let's write our equation now. So to write our equation, just write generic formula. Okay, g of x is going to stay the same. My a value is what we just found down here, so that's just going to be a 1. Then h value is x minus 2, and then k is plus 1. And this is our answer. Okay, number 65. Let's go ahead and identify stuff that we have. It looks like my index here is 0, 0. So that'll be my HK. And then I just need some other point. So I'm going to use this one up here. 1, 4 is my XY. Okay, then we did orange. So let's solve for A. So my y value, or my g of x that I chose, is 4. A value we're solving for. X value is 1, h value is 0, and my k value is 4. So this will give us the cube root of 1, which is 1. Remember not to add the 1 and 4 together. Multiplication first. And then you get our k value is 0. So that just means our a value is 4. Okay, let's write our equation. So a value is 4. Okay, pay attention. The h value is 0 and your k value is 0. So it just means you're going to have x minus 0 plus 0. So that would just means that the graph is vertically stretched by a factor of 4. And that's your answer. Okay, so this one, we know our index again is odd. 3 is a common one, could be a 5, but it's not even. So if you look at number 66, you'll notice that a couple of things. You're first going to notice that it's being flipped. Okay, we should recognize that one. Let's go ahead and identify. So here's my index. That's going to be a -4, -2. Okay, some other point that I see is -3, -3. And the index, because it's not two arrows or essentially, it doesn't look linear. It doesn't look like that. So we're going to have an even. Well, the even just means that my generic form is now just going to be a times, pay attention, now it's just going to be the square root. Okay, let's put in our information here. So g of x for my y is -3. My x value is -3. My h value is -4. And then my k value is -2. So this will become plus. So +1 or 1. Just be 1. Add 2, so you get a equals -1. And that makes sense because the vertical stretch now it's being reflected over the x-axis. Okay, let's write our equation here. So again, earlier in the video we talked about how the index in this case would be a 2, And I guess you can note that because it's just one arrow, right? You don't have something that looks like that. Okay, so let's just, the x's and y's, you just need to substitute now a, h, and k. So our a value is -1. My h value is -4. And my k value is -2. So I have g of x equals -1, x plus 4 minus 2. This will be our answer. Okay, number 67. Let's do the same thing. Let's identify our x, y, h, and k. So that one looks like -1, -2, so our hk. Okay, a little bit hard to maybe identify our maybe we can say that is 0, -1.5, or -3/2 is our x and our y. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, I have 2 arrows, so I know that the index right here is going to be an odd. So x minus h plus k. So the y value is -1.5. X value is 0. H value is -1. And then my k value is -2. So -1.5. This will become a plus. So -1.5a, this will become 1. So -1.5a minus 2. So if I add 2, you're going to get something like a equals 0.5 or 1/2. Okay, let's write an equation. Now I'm just using a, h, and k. Okay, so a value got down here is 0.5 or 1/2, so it's being compressed. My h value is -1. So you're using the parentheses for the negatives, so to show, remember in the formula, it has this minus sign. And then my k value is -2. So that would just give us 1/2 cube root x plus 1 minus 2. And this is our answer. Hey guys, let's go over number 68 here. Sorry for the bad image. Okay, so that looks like to be our index. That'll be 3, 0. And a little bit hard to see, but this is +3. So 0, 3. So we just identified the index, middle of our graph. Now let's go ahead and solve for a. So this one looks like a odd index because I have 2 sets of arrows. So g of x, a, index of 3, x minus h, k. Okay, so my y value is 3, x value is 0, h value is 3, and my k value is 0. Okay, so this is going to get us -3 plus 0. Hey guys, let's go over number 68. Let's do, the first thing is we've been identifying our, I can't spell, identify, that's what it says. That's this thing, that's right in the middle. This would be our 3, 0, and this would be our HK. Okay, so you can use any point, and I originally picked this point. And what happened was 0, 3. I get a negative number in my radical, which gives me an imaginary, so that's kind of like bad. So try to pick an x value that's bigger than your h value. So that would be, 4, -2. This is going to be my x and my y. Okay, so the index looks to be odd, because you have a domain and range that's all real numbers, or -infinity and +infinity. That just means this 3 up here. Okay, so now we're going to write the equation. So our y value is -2. We talked about an x value that's bigger than your h value. So 4, h value is 3, and then a k value, that is 0. Okay, this is what we wanted. -2a, this becomes 1. So essentially that is just 1a, or a is -2. Okay, so to write our equation, I'm going to use the same formula of a cube root. And then g of x is going to stay the same. We're just going to use a, h, and k. So a is -2. Your h value is 3, and my k value is 0. So to clean that up, we're not going to write the 0. And there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and identify the index. In that case, that'll be this one. This will be 0. -3 would be our HK. And this point, 1, -1, looks to be like my XY. Let's go ahead and solve for A. Remember, this looks like a odd index because you have my graph has both domain and range of all real numbers. Okay, let's just substitute the numbers we've got. So g of x is my y, so -1. My x value is 1, h value is 0, and then k value is -3. So that just becomes 1. That'll become 1. So that's just a. Add 3. A equals 2. Okay, so now I'm going to write my equation. So same. And then we're just going to use our A, H, and K. So a value is 2, x minus your h value is 0, and then k value is minus 3. So then let's clean that up. And that's our answer. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Write a cube root function. Okay, that's already telling me for a graph that is reflected over the x-axis. So I'm thinking of an a value that is negative. Translated, 7 units to the right. Okay, 7 units right. And then 4 units down. So k is negative 4. 4 units down. So essentially, if we graph this, 7, negative 4, your graph's going to look something like this. And then because the a value, it's going to reflect it. So you're going to go over this line. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. So then we already have solving for a. So graph to characteristics. Characteristics. Okay, that's already done. Solving for a is done. So now all we have to do is just write the equation. Okay, let's write the equation now. So I know it's a cube root. Okay, so g of x, I'm just going to use our AH in case. So that's like step 3, then we're done. Okay, so let's just assume that it's a negative number. And then my x value, your h value, we said was going to be 7. And then my k value is going to be minus 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and just double check. And that's our graph. Let's go to Desmos over here. Let's type in our function, g of x. Okay, so we wrote negative 1. We want a cube root, so go to functions, go way at the bottom. There's my index. And then inside will be x minus 7. Okay, so you see that it was shifted to the right. And then we have minus 4. Okay. So let's say you don't see that. Let's see if we can just copy all this. No, we can't. Okay, let's just type in this. Okay. So you saw as I did it, but it's reflected over the x-axis, the index is pushed over to the right, 7, then down 4 units. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful. See you guys later. Bye.
Favorite subject and a very challenging class. And if you ever take it, you should do more than just pass. In it we learn equation, linear, quadratic, and more. We always do our homework. It will never be a bore. On a future college day, A professor just might say, students, with your mind so bright, go solve this problem right tonight. Math is my favorite subject and a very challenging class. And if you ever take it, you will learn to love it fast.